Welcome back, friends. In this tutorial, you will learn how to make a professional-looking invoice format in Excel with exciting features. I will guide you through step-by-step process of developing this dynamic invoice format. First, let me quickly explain some of the key features. At right side of Invoice, you can see 4 control buttons for operating the invoice system. These are Print and Save Invoice without printing, cancel the invoice, and open the invoice backup folder. All these control buttons does its task just in one click. Let me create here an invoice and practically demonstrate what are the features here. The invoice date, invoice number, and due date are auto-calculated fields. No need to change anything here. In the cell next to buyer's name, you can choose one from the list. Let me take customer CD, for example. As soon as I select the customer from the drop-down list, address, PAN number, and due date will automatically appear. In Invoice Details section, you have to only enter item description and quantity. Rest of all other fields will auto-calculate. Let me select here Product B. Here you see the serial number and rate of product appeared. When you put the quantity, the values will calculate automatically. Let me put here 12 units. And everything calculates automatically. Scroll down to see bottom part of the invoice. The subtotal, tax, discount, and net amounts are calculated. At the left, the net amount is automatically converted into in words format. By default, it is given in US dollar currency. But don't worry, you can change it to your own currency name. At the very bottom of invoice, there is signature and invoice generated date time field. This invoice generated date time will auto-update when you click on the Save Invoice or Print and Save button. Now, to print and save this invoice, click this Print and Save button. Here I got this file browser pop-up because my laptop is not connected to a printer. But if the computer is connected to a working printer, invoice will get printed. Soon after print, invoice will be saved as a PDF copy in the computer's disk drive. Let me click on this Cancel button. Here you see, the invoice is saved as PDF. The file name is the combination of invoice number, company name, and year. Let's close this PDF and come back to Excel. Look at the invoice number. It is auto-changed to 002, which will keep on incrementing as new invoice gets saved. Let me create new invoice to explore additional features. Let's select Customer AB. Now let's see what happens if I hit on Print and Save button without choosing any item and quantity. A message pops up which says, please generate invoice first, because there is not any item and quantity chosen. Same thing happens when you miss customer name. Let's make invoice with complete information. Now, let me click on this Save Invoice PDF button. This saves the invoice as PDF without printing. Here you see, invoice number 002 is generated. If you see at the bottom, the date and time of invoice generated is dynamically updated. Let's see what does this Cancel button do. Suppose you are at the mid of generating an invoice and suddenly, you need to cancel it without saving or printing. In this case, hit on this Cancel button. Use this last control button to open the folder where invoice backups are saved. Let me click on it. Here you see the backup folder opens, where there are invoice number 1 and 2 which we just created. That was the demonstration on how does this format works. Let's start learning how to make this template with step-by-step process. Take a blank workbook with 2 sheets. Rename first sheet as Invoice and second sheet as Customer, Item Master. In Invoice sheet, select A1 to E3 cell and merge them. In the merged cell, write Tax Invoice and increase font size. In F1, F2, and F3 cell, write invoice date, invoice number, and due date. Select 2 cells for each and merge. Below it, select A4 to H4 and merge. Do the same for next 2 rows. In these merged cells, write company name, address, and PAN number. For example, I have taken dummy names. Select A8 to B8 cell, then merge. Do the same for 2 more rows. write buyer's name, address, and PAN number in these cells. Change the text alignment to right. Beside it, merge C8 to G8 cells. Do the same for address. For PAN number, merge C10 to E10 range. In row number 12, put the column headers required for details of invoice. These are serial number, item description, quantity, rate, amount, tax rate, tax amount, and after-tax amount. Apply text wrapping in the header row and adjust row height. In A26 cell, write net amount in words. Starting from G26 cell and below it, write subtotal, tax, discount, and net amount. Select A27 to F29 cells and merge them. In A30 cell, write terms and conditions. Below it, write the terms and conditions of the invoice if any. Otherwise, you can skip this. Here I will write some dummy text, for example. In A39 cell, write authorized signature. Above it, write multiple dashes by starting it with single quotes. Merge F38 and G38 cells. Then write invoice generated date and time. Below it, merge F39 and G39 cells. Now, adjust the column headers for the headers of invoice description. Select invoice description range, which is A12 to H29. Select a faded color for border. Then apply all border to this range. Select A1 to H3 range, then apply thick outside border. Select A4 to H7 and apply thick outside border. Select entire invoice range, that is A1 to H39. Then apply thick outside border. In the header row, apply a color fill and make it bold. In buyer name, address, and PAN number input cell, apply color fill. Check Print Preview to see how does this format appears in the printing page. For this, click on File tab, then Print. Invoice is not fit in the single page. To make it fit, adjust the margins. Now, the invoice fits in one page perfectly. The design part of invoice is complete. Let's move forward to the formulas part. First of all, in the Customer and Item Master Sheet, create two tables for Customer Master Data and Item Master Data. In A1 cell, write Customer Master Data. Below it, write the column headers. These are customer name, PAN number, address, payment term, discount percent, and credit side. If you wish, you can increase more column headers for other information of customer. Select the header row and one row down. Then click on Insert tab, then Table. Select My Table Has Headers options and click OK. A table is created for customer data. Change the name of table to Customer Master. Next to it, create another table for item data by skipping one column. In column headers, put item description, unit price, and tax rate percent. Create table and change the name to Item Master. In these tables, fill the details of the customers and items that you have. Here I'm going to enter some dummy details, for example. Come back to Invoice Sheet, then start using formulas. In the Invoice Date field, use the Today function. This generates today's date automatically for every single day. In Invoice Number field, put 1, which will be the first invoice. Then, change the formatting of the cell to attach company name and year with the invoice number. For this, right-click on the cell and click on Format Cells. Click on Custom option. Remove the general format type and put the custom format code. That is 00# double quote space dash space XYZ space dash space 2024 double quotes. Click on OK. Format is changed to the combination of invoice number, company name, and year. If you are making this for any other year, just change the year value in custom format code. In the due date field, we have to add the credit side of customer in the invoice date. For this, use the VLOOKUP function. Press is equal to, click on the invoice date cell, plus, VLOOKUP, open parentheses. In the lookup value, click on the customer name cell, put a comma. In the table array, select the table name, which is Customer Master. Put a comma. In the column index number, provide the column number in which the invoice due date is there in Customer Master table, which is the column number 6. Put a comma. In the range lookup, select exact match by double-clicking. Close parentheses and hit Enter. Result is given as NA error because no customer is chosen. To hide the NA error, combine the if error function with it. Double-click on the cell. Go to Formula bar. Click after is equal to symbol and insert if error function. Then, open parentheses. Click at the end of formula and put a comma. Then in value if error parameter, type double quotation twice. Close parentheses and hit Enter. Now, if the formula results into an error, cell will not show the error message. For most of calculated fields in this invoice, we will use the same formula approach. So, if you are new to VLOOKUP and if error function, you have to first understand it clearly. The separate tutorials on these functions will be given in video description section. Now, to create customer name selection menu in buyer's name field, we have to make a dynamic list, which should auto-update the newly added customers. For this, first create a named range of the customer name column of Customer Master table. For this, click on Formulas tab, then Name Manager. Then click on New. In the name box, type Customer List. In the refers to, remove previous value, then put is equal to Customer Master. Open a square bracket, then type the column header name, that is customer name. Close the square bracket, then click OK. Here you see, the name for customer list is created. Similarly, create a named range for the item names of Item Master table. Now, to create customer selection drop-down list, click on this buyer's name input field. Click on Data tab, then Data Validation. In this drop-down, select List option. Then, in the source, press is equal to, then type the named range created, that was customer list. Click on OK. Here you see, a drop-down for customer name selection is created. Let me select here customer AB. Now, obtain the address and PAN number of customer by using the combination of if error and VLOOKUP function. Now, if you change the customer name, address, PAN number, and due date updates automatically. Next, use formula in the serial number column to automate this. For this, we will use the sequence function. Press equals, choose sequence function from the formula list. In rows parameter, combine COUNTA function. In the value 1 of COUNTA, select the item description range. Close parentheses for count A and sequence. Then press Enter. This has displayed error because no item name is selected. To hide this error, combine if error function. If you are working in old Excel version, you will not see this sequence function. In that case, you have to follow a different formula approach to automate the serial number column. The video tutorial link is in the description section below. Now, create a drop-down list for item selection, following the same method we did for customer name selection. Let me choose few item names here. Look at the serial number column. Serial numbers are auto-given. To obtain the rate and tax rate for the selected item, use the combination of if error and VLOOKUP. In the amount column, multiply rate and quantity. Combine if error function with it.
Put some quantities.
In the tax amount column, multiply amount and tax rate %. In the amount after tax, add the amount and tax amount column. In subtotal, add the amount column using some function. In tax total, add tax amount column. To calculate the discount value, we have to multiply subtotal with the discount % applicable to the selected customer. For this, obtain the discount % using the VLOOKUP. In the net amount, apply subtotal plus tax minus discount formula. Apply 2 digits after decimal in net amount. Change the alignment of text to center. Now, to convert the net amount value to words format, we have to create a spell number function. And further, we have to assign macro codes to the control buttons too. So, let's save this file as macro-enabled file type. For this, click on File tab, then Save As. In File Type list, select Excel Macro-Enabled Workbook. Click on Browse, then choose the location to save the file. Let me select here Desktop, then click on Save. In the desktop, you will see the macro-enabled version of this invoice format. Open this macro-enabled file to continue further. To create Spellnumber function, install the VBA code required for it in a module in VBA. The code I have here in this notepad. Copy and paste this code by creating a module in VBA. You can get this Spellnumber code in the video description below. Close the VBA editor window. Then use the Spellnumber function here in A27 cell. Press is equal to, then type spell. Here you have the spell USD function. Double-click on it to choose. Then, select the net amount. Close parentheses and hit enter. Value of net amount is changed to words format in US dollar currency. If you belong to a different country, you can modify the code and make it for your own currency name. The how-to guideline on changing the currency code is given in the video description below. Next, we have to create the control button for print and save PDF, save only, cancel, and open backup folder. For this, add PDF logo. Click on Insert tab, Illustration, Picture, Place over cell, this device. Select the PDF logo from desktop. You can download this logo from the internet. Again, add the print button by going to Insert, Illustrations, then Icons. Search for print in the search bar. Then select one printer icon and click on Insert. Arrange these two images next to each other. Click on Insert tab, Text, Word Art. Then select a word art style. Reduce font size of it. Then write Print and save. Put this below the images. Select all three images by press and hold the Control key, then select each. Then group them together. Following the same method, create buttons for next three controls. Now, to make these buttons functional, we have to write the macro codes in VBA. Click on Developer tab, then Visual Basic. In VBA window, click on Insert, then Module. Create a sub-procedure for print and save. Define variables. Dim sh as worksheet. Dim inv_num as string. Dim print range as range. Dim folder path as string. Next, set up the values for the variables. Set sh equal to this workbook.sheets, invoice. Inv_num equal to sh.range h2.text. Set print range equal to sh.range A1 to H39. For the folder path, first create a folder where you want to keep the invoice backup copies. Let me create a folder in Desktop. Then rename it as Invoice Backup. Open this folder, click on Address bar. Then copy the folder address by selecting it. Go to VBA Editor, then write folder path equal to. Paste the folder path address. Then put a backward slash at the end. And enclose the path by double quotations. Now create a validation to check if an invoice is properly made before print and save. For this, write if statement. If sh.range C8 equal to empty, or sh.range B13 equal to empty, or sh.range C13 equal to empty, then message box, please generate an invoice first. VB information. Exit sub. End if. This will check if the user has selected customer name and has put at least one item and its quantity to make the invoice. Next, write the code to display invoice generated date and time in the F39 cell. sh.range F39.value is equal to now. To print the invoice, put the code which is print range.printout. Now, to save invoice in PDF format, write this code. Print range.export as fixed format, type equal to XL type PDF, file name equal to folder path and inv_num and .pdf. Open after publish is equal to true. Next, write code to increase the invoice number by 1 after saving the invoice. sh.range h2.value is equal to sh.range h2.value plus 1. Then to clear the invoice, write this code. sh.range C8 to G8.clear contents. sh.range B13 to C25.clear contents. Next, create another sub-procedure for saving the invoice without printing. Now, copy all the code that is written in print and save procedure, then paste it in the save invoice procedure. Now, remove the code for printout. Next, create sub-procedure for canceling the invoice. Dim sh as worksheet. Set sh is equal to this workbook.sheets, invoice. sh.range C8 to G8. Clear contents. sh.range B13 to C25. Clear contents. Next, create a subprocedure for opening the invoice backup folder. Dim folder path as string. Copy the folder path value from previous code, then paste it here. Below this, write this code. Shell, explorer.exe, and folder path, VB normal focus. Coding part is complete. Close the VBA editor window. Now, assign the processes to the control buttons. Right-click on Print and Save button, then click on Assign macro. Select Print and Save macro, then click on OK. For Save Invoice button, assign the Save Invoice macro. Here, the control name should be Save Invoice, and icon should be for Save. For Cancel button, assign Cancel macro. For Open Invoice Backup button, assign Open Backup macro. Now, let's check the buttons to see if everything working fine. To print and save this existing invoice, hit on that Print and Save button. This message pops up if computer is not connected to any printer. But if connected to working printer, invoice will print and save as PDF. Here you see, invoice already saved as PDF copy in computer's disk. Let's make another invoice to check the Save Invoice button, which should save PDF without printing the invoice. Click on that Save Invoice button. Invoice saved without printing out. And invoice number is 2. Enter another invoice details to test Cancel button. To cancel it without saving, click on Cancel button. Invoice canceled. Now, click on that Open Invoice Backup folder. Error message displayed. There might be some error in the code. Click on Debug button to see the code. There is a syntax error in the code. There should be a space after exe. So, correct the code by inserting a space after exe. Now, test the button by clicking on it. Works perfectly. The backup folder of invoices opened, where there are 2 invoices that we created. So, that was all about the process of making an automated invoicing system in Excel. Later, another version of this invoice system will be released with more productive features like connection to stock tracking sheet and sales reports. If you like this, please give us a thumbs up by hitting on that like button. Also subscribe our channel for more tutorials like this. If you want to practice this, download this workbook file from the link displayed in the screen. Thank you so much for watching.